people who could join me watch this video.
I've not even won the death of my husband. It still feels like my husband is still alive because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried. And he's been in pieces twice. You know, they literally did 2 autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did. I made it known that I have been waiting for the DNA. They said once the DNA is done, I shouldn't tell the public the result of the DNA. He has called me a promiscuous woman. Mm-hmm. He has called me a cheating wife. He was even the one that initiated that marriage.
Right. And he was present, of course, during the marriage.
He was the happiest. He has tried to take my right away from me as a woman. I could not even sleep. Like, I had to stop breastfeeding my baby. My father-in-law wanted to be in control
of
my husband's properties.
If your son and I married today, what would you tell him?
One thing I would tell him is that even if the whole world do not believe what I've been saying, you know deep down that you maltreated my husband. It has really gotten to a point that it's either I speak up or I die in silence.
Come for me.
Without going into all of the things that have happened,
yeah,
how are you?
You just asked a very huge question.
Yeah.
I would say I'm fine because, you know, my sadness is not going to change anything. Mm. So, regardless of whatever I feel,
yeah,
at least I'm still here, still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I'm fine.
So in this answer now, you talked about sadness.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot that has happened.
Yeah, a lot.
First, obviously, I know that the loss of your husband has been the biggest of all of this.
Yeah.
What is the saddest thing for you in all the things that have happened after? For a grieving widow who has a less than
5-month-old baby.
Yes, at the time of the passing.
Yeah.
What has been the saddest thing that has happened since this?
I feel like the saddest thing I've experienced so far is the fact that the person that's supposed to be in guard for my late husband, this person that's supposed to be my son and highest protector, is our chief prosecutor.
Right.
And he's been everywhere trying to, you know, recruit people to turn against my son and I, both online and offline. Like, he's been from one threat to another.
This is Mohbad's father you're talking about?
Yeah, my father-in-law,
Father-in-law.
Yeah, so it's been from one threat to another. We no longer feel safe. Like, you know, I literally get death threat almost every day in my DMs. You know, I barely go out. My baby, you know, his grandchild also, you know, he's been deprived of so many childhood memories, but there's nothing for me to do than just to see how things goes.
What's the problem with your father-in-law exactly?
Yeah,
between you and him?
Yeah, so I feel like the problem is just about family disputes.
Okay, what do you mean?
The problem is more like a competition between him and Liam.
Between your father-in-law and your son?
Yes.
A competition?
It sounds funny, but that's the actual truth.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, you know, because after the death of my husband, a lot happened, and you know, my father-in-law wanted to be in control
of
my husband's properties.
Right.
The fact that there is Liam in the picture, because there was one time I actually called him to ask him, like, what happened? What do we do to deserve all of this? Like, why have you been out there defaming your grandchild and me? And he was like, why do I have to take Liam away from him? Why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place on the island? That means that is my husband rented apartment.
Right.
That was not supposed to bring him over to meet him in Ikorodu, because himself and my mother-in-law, they are not in good terms.
Right. Right.
You know, he was just trying to manipulate me.
Yes,
so, you know.
So your father-in-law and your mother-in-law are not on good terms.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
so he was not asking, why did you take the son
to
the
mother? Yeah, after my husband's demise.
Yes, right.
So I explained to him, I made him understand that my mother-in-law has been the only one asking of Liam. He never did. Instead, he was always online defaming us, and, you know, then I apologized to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologized. I told you I was sorry that I would bring him over to him.
When was this?
That was, I think, 3 weeks after my husband's demise. Then it was like I started going online talking about the DNA, and, you know.
So he had already started talking about the DNA.
DNA, yes. That was when I called him.
Right. That's when you now called him.
Yes. So he made me understand that why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place? Like, is it not the owner of his grandchild? Like, trying to make me feel like a bad person. But I understand where he was heading to. So I just had to apologize to him to make things, to make things calm. And I asked him again, like, what happened? Why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Then he responded by saying, he's sure that a lot of people would have called me to tell me what he wants. And truly, a lot of people called me. My dad, my mother-in-law, my husband's friend, and few people we have around literally called me to tell me what he wants. And he told my father, whatever that belongs to my husband, I know that I have access to, that I should make sure that I hand over everything to him, including the landed property God for Liam. So I told him the same thing that he has been telling people, like, this is what these people are telling me. And I made him understand that, Daddy, you have, like, my husband got you 2 lands before his demise, one in Ekiti and one in Ikorodu. Like, why do you want to take the one that belongs to Liam?
Right.
Then he was like, I shouldn't question him, that is what he wants. Then I said, okay. Then he was like, what effort? He said it in Yoruba. I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he said, irú ayawoloko lawyer promise tí mo pè pé kó gbé kan mú kó fún mi ní nǹkan ọmọ mi tó bá mi sọ wípé ó bímọ ṣé ọmọ mi náà fẹ́ máa lálẹ̀ fún mi ni. Like, I don't know if I can translate it in English. So he actually said, what effrontery does my lawyer?
Does your lawyer have?
My husband's lawyer has.
Right.
He requested for his son's properties, and he was telling him that he has a son. So like, who is his grandchild to start asking him to start dictating what he wants?
That's why you talk about the competition between him and the grandchild.
Yeah.
So he said to his son's lawyer, who is the grandchild,
to
challenge him
exactly
on Mohbad's
my husband's property. Yeah. But like, this is one thing that most people do not know. And, I was not even given the chance to talk. So I was not given the chance to say my own side of the story. So, so as much as I feel like, some things need to be addressed, I still had the mindset that I don't know how people would react if I should talk, because without hearing anything from me, they've crucified me. They've said a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
So, that alone has, made me, like, my low self-esteem to be very, very low, because I no longer have the audacity to at least speak on things that really matters. Yeah. So I think that is one thing that has been causing the whole issue. The fact that Liam is in the picture.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is his grandchild.
It sounds strange to me also. It will sound weird to say it. But, I'm left with no choice. I just had to say it as it is.
Yeah.
Because it has really gotten to a point that it's either I speak up